Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. We have some breaking news. Breaking news. Luca Chevalier to Paris Saint-Germain is a done deal, which obviously means Donnarumma will be leaving the club. Breaking: PSG and Lille have reached an agreement for Luca Chevalier, 23 years of age. The player said sign a contract until 2030 for a fee worth 40 million euros. Only a few details remain for the transfer to be finalized. And then I saw another report from Sasha something. And he actually mentioned a different price tag. So just find it 1 second right here. Agreement between Lille and Paris. Medical visits scheduled for the end of the week. Price 50 million, including bonuses. Contract 5 years. So it could be 40 million base and then plus 10 million in bonuses, which is obviously what Lille was looking for. If we take a look at the previous reports regarding Luca Chevalier, PSG are optimistic about signing Luca Chevalier, Luis Enrique, Luis Campos, and they want to have him before August the 6th. So one thing I'm really happy about the Luca Chevalier transfer is how quickly it went. You know, the previous signing that we were after, Zabarni, we waited like so long and never made more of a bid. And here we just sent in an extra 20 million plus bonuses, because the first bid we made for Chevalier, I saw something, I guess it was 20 million or something, the previous one, but it was just less than what they were asking for. And obviously the previous report mentioned the club wants to sign Chevalier before selling Donnarumma. So Chevalier has joined Paris Saint-Germain, and let's take Donnarumma out of the equation, as we have to do when we talk about this transfer. This is a great transfer. You know, Paris Saint-Germain have started focusing on buying the French and just talent from Ligue 1, and we're doing that in a great way. Bought Desiree Doué from Stade de Rennes, brought Bradley Barcola from Lyon, and now Luca Chevalier. So basically weakening the other side teams, even though they're never going to compete with us. Like, it's not even close, the quality level between PSG and all the other teams in the league. But we're still taking away their talent, and we have first dibs. You know, when there is an upcoming talent in Ligue 1, Paris Saint-Germain will have him, especially if it's French. And I said this before in the previous video, a lot of these players also want to represent the French national team. Chevalier does represent France on the under-21 level, I believe, or under-23 or something, but hasn't featured. Maybe he's featured in like one friendly or something. But he would love to push out Parisian Mike Maignan, who's playing at AC Milan. He would love to push him out of that starting spot. And moving to Paris Saint-Germain gives you enormous prestige, and it obviously gives you the platform to play on the highest level. So a transfer from Luca Chevalier's side, this is a great one. Paris Saint-Germain, I believe Luca Chevalier potentially becomes the third highest keeper ever. Alisson and Kepa Arrizabalaga, potentially Onana as well ahead of him. So maybe the fourth most expensive goalkeeper of all time, but it makes sense. 23 years of age. I think he's strongly contracted at Lille as well. This is a beautiful transfer. And I've seen a lot of discussions on Twitter about the Donnarumma situation, and the answer I'm more coming to is that whatever Donnarumma did at the end of the season, it was never going to happen. And the thing about this wage thing, that's more like what the reporters have said. And they say it's like Donna is not going to leave because like he doesn't want to sign the contract and we are doing this with the contract negotiation. It's more that PSG before, you know, maybe this season, they knew like Donnarumma, he's here, but we want to bring someone else. Luca Chevalier, obviously great with the ball at his feet. And I think that's obviously Donnarumma's biggest weakness. Yes, he has improved a lot since Luis Enrique came in at the club. I saw, for example, Robert Sanchez of Chelsea. He was playing basically as a centre-back, pushing up into that space. So when teams press us, that helps us a lot. When we want to attack, that helps us a lot. So, yeah. I think Donnarumma, it's less about the stuff that he's really great at, it's the weaknesses. Luca Chevalier doesn't really have a glaring weakness as Donnarumma with the ball at his feet. Like before, Donna could potentially like lose the ball like against Real Madrid and so on, but now it's more that he can't move the ball as quickly. He's not as agile. Donnarumma obviously 6'6", Chevalier only 6'2", and we did take a look at the stats. And Chevalier last season was a better goalkeeper than Gianluigi Donnarumma, both in the league and probably in the UCL until the big knockout stage games where Lille got knocked out, because he had a higher save percentage, concedes more shots against him, probably higher XG chances as well, and has a better post XG, which is like how many goals you have saved from the net, XG wise and so on. So I think this is a great signing. You know, I want to differentiate how I feel about the Donnarumma situation and Chevalier. Chevalier, as I mentioned in the previous video, deserves all the love and support from this fan base. I'm happy he's coming in so early, and he's probably going to start the game versus Spurs on August the 13th in the UEFA Super Cup. So a great debut for him. Lucho could go safe with maybe Safanov. We've seen him in the Cups and so on. Maybe he wants to give him a little bit more of trust. And that's one thing. Safanov has been pushing to be, play more minutes. When he first came in, he said, I don't join a club to be number 2. And there have been recent reports that Safanov wants to play more game time next season, and he will see Chevalier as an easier potentially competition than Donnarumma. Donnarumma has been at the club for longer and had the Champions League season that he had. But Chevalier, that will obviously give some stuff to Safanov. But yeah, the price, as I said, a little bit expensive, but I mean, that's what you got to pay for a talented player like Luca Chevalier. And now, the best thing here is finalize this. Donnarumma obviously tried to get as much money left, as much you can get on him. He has 1 year left in his contract. I've seen Galatasaray. I've seen some Premier League clubs. We would love to sell him to the Premier League. They have the money. Unfortunately, one of those clubs will be obviously competing in the UCL, so strengthening them. Hopefully, Donna Bozo goes back, I guess. But yeah, great transfer. Yeah, that's been it from boy PSG Gent. Hopefully, guys, have enjoyed this video. Yeah, Luca Chevalier, bienvenue à Paris Saint-Germain.